Hello everybody, it is Yami Fujita, and once again we are back with Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and it has been Havoc since for the last couple of streams. It's already feeling like the next incident is not very far away. Apparently, Hina was attacked by Genocide Jill, but not badly harmed. But that still did not do enough to soothe Sakura's rage. Just the sight of Hina being hurt sent her into a frenzy, so we will, and now the two worst possible people have been left in a room by themselves again. Makoto and Kyoko rather. Kyoko does not want to speak to Makoto because he refused to tell her an important secret, despite forcing her to tell him an important secret. So, you'll figure out what will happen next. I'm in the nurse's office now. Like, we don't have a choice. We gotta speak to each other at this point about what just happened. Kyoko? Are you still mad? Yeah, I figured.
Eva.
It's fine. Huh? About that issue we discussed earlier. It doesn't matter anymore. Then, do you forgive me for not being able to talk about it?
つまり
You could have told me about Sakura and Monokuma fighting, but you stayed quiet. It wasn't my choice. I wanted to tell her. The game did not let me do that. You were only thinking of Sakura, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? You didn't want to confuse everyone until you could talk to her and be sure of what you saw. That's what you were thinking, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? Yeah. To think like that.
大義君のくせに
I
生
wouldn't
意
have
気ね
expected such arrogance from you. What?
だって
Because ultimately that means you don't trust me. No, that's not it. But if that's how you feel, I can't really change your mind. I'm sorry.
いいわ
It's fine. I've already forgotten about it. Besides,
私も
I may have overreacted. Now she's blushing. I turn my microphone up a little bit. Huh?
とにかく
Anyway, it's over and done with. Like I said, let's just forget about it. Okay, well, thank you. So then should we leave, or no point in going somewhere else right now? That issue we discussed doesn't matter anymore. I want to talk to you about something else. What is it you wanted to talk to me about?
え
Actually, I'd like you to come somewhere with me. I have business there. Where?
えそれは
Just come with me and you'll find out. I guess, but
行きましょうか
shall we get going? With her typical indifference, Kyoko turned and walked away, setting a brisk pace. Kyoko... I hurried to catch up to her. She walked ahead in silence, and in silence I chased her. And eventually we arrived. Probably back at that same spot where I got knocked out at. Oh no, we're in the equipment room. Or the dressing room, rather. The dressing room? So something else you mentioned.
ええ
That's right. It has to do with alter ego. But you said we didn't need alter ego anymore.
違うわ
I didn't say we didn't need him, I just said he had done his job. Besides, it's not us that needs alter ego. He has business with us. Huh?
そう
Alter Ego asked me to bring others to come see him. Apparently, he has something he wants to ask us. Alter Ego wants to ask us something. Hello? So it's just the two of you? Kyoko and Makoto? Kyoko's fingers glided across the keyboard. Is two not enough? No, it's okay. Two should be plenty. But what is it he wants to ask us? Let's find out, shall we? Kyoko typed in the question. What did you want to ask us? Oh, yeah, so... I'd like you to take me somewhere where you can connect me to the school network. What? Kyoko and I quickly glanced at each other. And she replied, why? Well, you said my job was done, right? But to stop here, saying I finished my work, I don't want that. I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that we can all get out of here. That's what Master would want too. So, to help everyone else, to solve the mystery of this school, the only way I can help is if you connect me to the school's network. But if you did that, that's basically suicide. I'm positive the mastermind would find out about it. They'd find you and they'd... You agree, right, Kyoko? I realize how dangerous it could be. But still, I have to do this. I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but... when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay. If it's for the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. And I couldn't help but get lost in that voice. It was just too committed. And too admirable. And too fragile. You remember what you asked before, Makoto. You asked what the difference is between a person and a program, right? Yeah? When I talk to Alter Ego, I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I think maybe that's a question even the program's creator can't answer. But I can say this. There's no question that Alter Ego is our friend. Kyoko, to be honest, I didn't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore. Because if we take any more risks, the mastermind really will notice it. But... let's do it, Makoto. Let's connect Alter Ego to the network. But... he's our friend, so I want to take his feelings into consideration. And he says that he wants to fight alongside his friends. If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing in this situation? If you saw everyone else fighting and doing their best, could you just look the other way? Or would you stand up? Stand up tall next to everyone else and tell them you're their friend. Hey, are you guys fighting? If it's about me, please don't. I want to believe in myself. I want to be able to say, I know I can do this. So please, let me try. And besides, there's one place where the mastermind might not notice. One place? Remember? There's another place besides here where there's no surveillance camera. A room without a surveillance camera. Was it the music room or the secret room? That's it. The secret room you told me about. I definitely remember there was no surveillance camera in there.
ええ
And I do believe you can connect to the network from there. I remember seeing an Ethernet port on the wall.
だけど
However, just because there's no camera there doesn't mean there's no danger. I mean, yeah, I was knocked out in that room. There's no way to be sure the mastermind isn't monitoring the network somehow. We also have to move alter ego, and the mastermind may spot us going into the secret room. If they pick up on any of this, then it's all over. You're right.
そうするべきよ
But despite all that, I still think we need to try.
そう
Because that's our best chance of finding any new clues. And Kyoko, in that case, will you let me carry him? There's no way you could hide him with what you're wearing, right? So let me do it.
そうね
Okay then, I'll leave it to you. Thank you.
じゃあ
Let's get started. It's gonna be a little cramped for you, alter ego. Bear with us, okay? We started packing him up right away. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. It tinkles. Really? They can actually feel things? Shh, you can't talk right now. They're gonna move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your command has been implemented. Good. To have him react like a machine, like that all of a sudden, I didn't know how to react.
苗木くん
In the secret room, there are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there.
でも
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already. Well, all we can do is go and check for ourselves.
そうね
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. Alright, well, let's get over there. Wait. Why is it not letting me go up there?
「ちょっとね
Is it just gonna make me walk all the way there? It's not this bathroom, right?
えね
Makoto,
どうして
are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
いいわね
Just hurry up and go. Make sure you don't run off. I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful I thought I made her mad again somehow.
ちょ
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
じゃあ
And be thorough. I'm counting on you. I thought it was on the 4th floor, not the 2nd floor. Okay, first we have to find the network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? Now we just have to connect alter ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it. Yeah, I think it worked. Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. Hold on. And Kyoko came up here by herself, left unscathed. And I come up here by myself, I get knocked out. And I come in here again with a laptop, stealing an Ethernet cord, plugging in the laptop. Like, there's no way that the same person isn't just gonna run in here again and figure out what we're doing. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please just wait a little while longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me? Thank you. Thank you, Makoto.
苗木くん
How'd it go? Well, it went okay, but all the, documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
そう
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here.
じゃあね
Goodbye. Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko!
何
Yes? So, we're just gonna split up?
なんで
Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe... But, isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble for something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I had more I wanted to talk to you about, like... What are you gonna do about Sakura?
そうね
Well, something has to be done, it's true.
でも
But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what should we...
それは
If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now. Which is why, Alter Ego, and all we can do is wait, and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. I'm kinda tired. I laid down in bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving Alter Ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all, I didn't go to sleep, I completely dozed off. Huh? Somebody's at the door. The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world. Alright, well, who's at the door now? Is it gonna tell me on the map? No, of course not.
苗木くん
Makoto, get out here. Kyoko, what's going on?
ええ
Hina just came to see me, and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. And I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Makoto, Kyoko! Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Well, let's see what it is. Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
ね
And what's going on? Did something happen to her?
え
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window. But I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name. But she wouldn't respond. What should we do? What are we gonna do?
とにかく
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
いいわね
We're going to force our way in. I just said the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why?
どうやら
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Alright, well I gotta remember that. The rec room door doesn't have a lock on it. Not sure how she already knew that. I mean, I guess she looked. Is it the chair? Chair?
つまり
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in.
ええ
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right there. Or wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. And Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence. But that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom! In the classroom! Use it!
大輝くん
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Come on, please, hurry! Okay, you two just stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. And aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. Okay, like I must be too paranoid about what's been happening throughout this entire game. I feel like I'm being set up. But I cannot help but feel like I'm being set up. There's no way this does not count as breaking into a room. How does the rec room door not have a lock on it? There's no way this does not count as breaking into this room if I'm breaking the window in. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. How did she know there was a chair leaning against it? The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could. But the moment I laid my hand on her... What did I tell you? This was a setup. Now let's see what happened. All I felt was cold death. Oh, what on earth happened to her? It's like she's been Medusa. She's just a stone. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then... the announcement of a dead body being discovered.
一定の自由時間の後、学習裁判を開きます。Danganronpa.
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. Okay, the turn to stone look was just a dramatic effect. Her body is not actually frozen, but it's lifeless. We didn't make it in time. And it didn't make it in time. This must have happened a while ago. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On sticky legs, Hina left the rec room, and I... Why? Why did this have to happen? She storms out in a fit of rage, and then ends up dead. Like, that was a fear of mine. After yesterday's stream, I didn't mention it, but... that's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her, while she checked Sakura's corpse. And time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long... That's right, the rec room's on the second floor. My god, everyone! What? The owner? So she's dead, huh? Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began. You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed her. What? You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything. You hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer? That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina. You're gonna ruin that little face of yours. Now then, with that, hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura. What? Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that, it saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Cause even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat. It would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violate a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So, I don't know who it was, but whoever the Blacken is this time, I owe you one. You owe them one? Oopsie. Before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are on the line, right? The hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. Yeah, you're not helping. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
とにかく
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina, I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
まあいいだろ
Okay, then Hina's guard number 1. But we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
Eh?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
いいわ
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say.
なんだ
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What? One of you killed Sakura. No, we don't know that. I feel like she's always the first one to accuse somebody. And she's always wrong, so I absolutely can't go off of what she's saying. Unless, again, that's the game tricking me into coming to that conclusion. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
黙れ
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
決まりだ
I won't ask you to let us all in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro? Do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide. Why should I care?
決まりだ
That it's decided. Nothing's decided!
落ち着いて
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
ね
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
そう
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body? That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
いいわね
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Alright, but unfortunately, the plan after this stream was to not come back to the stream on this game until the 28th, which is the first day of my vacation for my job. That's the first day of the anniversary countdown. During the anniversary countdown last year, it was Koga playing Persona 5. This year, it'll be Danganronpa. All the way through to the anniversary. So, the first stream back in a week and 2 days, 9 days, it will be for the second to last class trial. Now I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna use the bathroom. Okay. We have no choice but to just do it. Alright, it's already time to investigate again. Now let's absolutely pay as close attention as possible. Better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. So this happened in the afternoon. Well, exactly 12 noon. Or I said around it. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. That's what the rec room is on the 3rd floor. I'm thinking it was on the 2nd floor. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. It's how many people are getting hit in the head? However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Oh crap, yeah, look behind her. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the truth bullets section of the handbook, okay?
네.
I think the case this time might be a challenge. They've all been a challenge for me. My god, I just simply have not been smart enough. Now why is that?
それは
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from the inside the rec room. How did somebody put a chair there? How is that possible? No, they escaped. They found another way out. There must be another way to get to, like, vent out of this room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. Exactly. They vented somewhere. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
つまり
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. A locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
ね
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
いいわ
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method, seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
そう
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
つまり
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
だけど
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the skull, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that off the list.
そうね
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's open. What do you mean? What does she mean by that? What do you mean by that?
つまり
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. And that's probably what this situation is. But let's hear what the fourth one is. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That's what happened. If you watched the Family Guy episode, then there were fewer. The second and third option is what happened in that episode. But one of the people got killed because there was a hidden gun somewhere. And then the killer just kind of blends in with the crowd and pretends like they're just as shocked as everybody else. I won't spoil anything if you guys want to see that episode. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
そうね
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room.
つまり
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within this room. I really think there is. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off, too?
ええ
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. I really do think that there's somewhere in this room where the killer escaped. Because the door was, like, not locked, but it was being held closed by a chair. It was being held closed by a chair from the inside. So, how did they get back out? How did they get back out and put the chair right back where it was without damaging anything? They must have found an alternate escape route. And then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
そうね
It's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. How on earth was somebody able to lock the door from the inside and escape the room? Well, let's take a look at everything we see. As Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Okay. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance. Byakuya,
まあいいだろう
however, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
当然だ
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. I'm gonna come up with another theory. Her and Hina were in the chem lab. They had discovered protein, protein-like chemicals. And then they also had discovered poison. Is it possible that somebody used poison from that chem lab? And that's why she vomited blood. And did she drink something that caused her to vomit blood? That's another theory. Hang on a second. Okay. What is this stuff behind her? There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. So either somebody broke that over her head, or she drank something out of it and got poisoned and dropped it. There's something else in the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. Monokuma figure. It was inside of the bottles. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how'd they get these figures inside the bottle? So no, that already rules that out. She definitely got hit over the head with this bottle. It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have. So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. We're missing the knight, of this lineup of chess pieces. Which, I think I mentioned in a stream a while ago that chess was related to my lore story. It is not anymore. That concept was changed. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. I was right. I'm gonna come back to that protein zyme. An X bottle. I'm gonna look at the blood on the floor first. And there's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Well, why is it so far away from where she died? And then what's this on the floor? This looks like some kind of wrapper. That's... You recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah, I mean... I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. Come on, now. But I just feel like this is the game trying to get us to think that she killed Sakura. I'm not gonna make that conclusion yet. But so far, my 2 primary suspects now are again Kyoko and Hina. Because Kyoko, how did she get out of that secret room unscathed and yet I get knocked out the moment I walk in? How did she know that the door was being propped with a chair? Well, she didn't know, she was guessing, but still. And then Hina just admitted that she gave Sakura a candy. So... is that potentially what poisoned her? I found a big box of it in the warehouse, I really like them. Okay, so then it's not poisonous. Actually, as soon as we could get it into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Now, this probably isn't what poisoned her then. That can't be what... If something even did poison her. But... all this glass on the floor and that bottle. Clearly something was broken. Well, we broke the glass with a broom. We didn't break it with this. So why is this on the floor? Oh, why is there a protein sign container on the floor? There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
それは
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein, and she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
違うわ
I wouldn't take that to heart, if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
ちょっと
But that's strange. What is?
ね
You see what's scattered around the can? Glass. Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
そう
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're underneath it too. Why does that
それ
matter?
は
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably gonna want to take a note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. This was used to break something else. I don't know how that would be possible, but an important clue? I'm not sure I see how. That looks like everything from this room. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So roughly an hour ago. You can't even see the hands on this clock. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? She wanted me to go in there alone to set him up. Is it possible that she ran off to do something while I was in there by myself again? You gotta think about that. I need to make sure I watch this stream before I do the next stream for the class trial. Because I didn't do that. For the last class trial stream that I did. Same sort of magazines, all different kinds of magazines here. There are handprints on the locker room door. And it's open. Handprints.
なぜ
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and it left a handprint in all the dust.
そうね
It looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And then once the person came in the room, well, that's when the killer probably poisoned her. He used a chair to prop the door shut, and then killed her. And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
違うわ
Unfortunately, wait, yeah, no, what are you talking about, Makoto? That's not possible. No, why not?
ね
Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point. Which means that, yeah, they hid in that locker until somebody walked into the room, and then popped out and killed her. There's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Well, yeah, what do the handprints mean? It means that somebody came into the room while it wasn't locked, got into the locker, and waited for Sakura to come in. So I'm sure later on we might find something that lets us know that they baited her to come into the room. Okay, I think that was everything in here.
でも
But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
そうね
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? Foul play. I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
確かに
Certainly they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
なんだ
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. Alright. Not even trying to hide how much he despises me.
何なの
We already know who did it. No, we don't.
許せない
Byakuya, Toko, or Hito, it had to be one of them. I couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Nakato? I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. No, we're not gonna find out until the end of the class trial. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna take this cough drop now. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? You're right here in the rec room. Yes, Sakura asked all three of them to meet her in the rec room. Why? No, what? And after I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each of them, so there you go, there's notes. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. And by noon, the Monokuma said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. Like, how do I know you weren't the one that asked all of them to meet? No, why would Sakura ask any of them to meet her in the rec room? Like, I don't want to get myself confused here. There were handprints on an open locker room. An open locker. The weapon is clearly the glass bottle with the Monokuma figure inside. There's a candy wrapper on the floor, and she admitted to giving Sakura that candy. And there's a protein drink on the floor. And I tried to stop her. She wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Alright. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her... For what? She asked them to come to the rec room at noon. The same time and place she ended up dying. It might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly.
Nanda.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go to see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. That's written in yellow, so we have to memorize that. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. We're already well over an hour into the stream.
Oi.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks.
Ne.
Alright, well, we can leave now, right? What else is there still to examine? This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which we did. Which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Is there something wrong with the chair? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. No reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the chair didn't open... I'm sorry, so there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning, and the door from opening. It's a door handle, but that still doesn't matter. If you shove a chair underneath that, most likely you can't turn it. And there's no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The killer had to have hid in this room. Or maybe they didn't hide. If Sakura told them to wait to meet them in the rec room, and maybe she hid in the locker, popped out, and then action broke out, and then whoever the killer ended up being, the other two must have just been accomplices and tried to hide the scene by not letting anybody come in, propping the door shut, and then finding some secret way out. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't want to be wrong about this case. Like, I'm trying to come up with all kinds of solutions.
Ne.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
Ja.
Think we should probably go talk with the people with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
いいわね。
which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Byakuya, Toko, and Hiro. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they had to say. Those other 2 people went back to their rooms. Rest in peace. Rest in hell. That's my room. We talked to you already. Rest in peace. And rest in peace. Okay, Toko. And it pressed the doorbell. After a few seconds.
Nani?
Who's there? The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
何なの？
深川さんに戻ってたんだね。ジェノサイダーじゃなくて。
あいつの話しないでよ。気分が悪くなるじゃない。せっかく楽しい気分なのに。
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
あのさ、ちょっと話があるんだけど、今いいかな。
Obviously annoyed, Toko slid out into the hall.
何の用よ。
What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
それは。
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with you. Asked to meet with him. But what? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said 2, didn't I? Guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Okay, Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Thinking I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Alright, and last but not least, Hiro's around the... Oh, he's right there. No, rest in absolute peace. She's pretty much gonna be in hell. Rest in hell. You're still not as bad as Mondo, but unfortunately, you're definitely going to hell. Oh no, that's Sakura. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And you can't really blame him for killing Sayaka. Like, again, that was out of self-defense. Though, I keep forgetting, I mean... She did kind of retreat to the bathroom. He followed her in there and killed her. So again, that... Not entirely self-defense, but Sayaka did try to attack him. And then rest in peace to Hifumi. Press the doorbell. After a few seconds. What's up, Makoto? You need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Olga told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. She told you herself. But what? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? That's not adding up. Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. Gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. Yeah, seriously. She came to you in person, but gave you a note? So then you went and met with Sakura. No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? There's no way that not a single one of you went to meet with her. Unless Hina is lying. Because that is a possibility. She could have lied in saying that they all met up with her. Not that they all got the note, because they did get a note. But maybe she's trying to cover up the fact that none of them actually went to meet her, and it was her that actually was with Sakura the whole time. Yeah, Kyoko is coming off the suspicion list. Like, she's at the bottom compared to the other four. But, Hito and Hina are at the top of my list now. The last time I saw Olga was when Hina got hurt, and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. Everybody keeps saying that. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? See, that's a good move right there. I'm glad you thought about that. Oh, do I still have it? Let's see. It's feeling around his pockets. Sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. How on earth do you not have it anymore? So all of you completely ripped up and discarded the notes? With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Oh my goodness, come on, dude. Something had fallen out of Hito's pockets. He also had a candy wrapper? Quick as the wind, Hito snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket. Yeah, sorry. Just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. But you are seriously not helping yourself seem less suspicious. Trash? Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hito quickly stood back into his room. The game is trying to make him seem more and more suspicious. But I cannot fully put it on him yet. Because as I said, I still do suspect Hina as well. Hito said that it was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hito. What next? I definitely had to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. Where should I start? Well, let's go to that chem lab. And Byakuya's already there. There's stuff all over the floor. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Oh, what is all this spilt on the floor? So, did you find out anything? Okay. I didn't mean to click on him anyway. Is it my first time seeing the shelf? I just can't get over how big it is. Should probably take a closer look at it. Looks like these shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? Have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it, Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled. That's right. It could have only been spilled around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. But I really do think that Sakura was poisoned prior to being smacked over top of the head. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. Better not leave a footprint. Well, it seems like somebody else already did. These are footprints. And they're only in front of the left shelf. A. How did these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. What an insufferable smirk. He handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So, how's this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me? So, when you look at it like this... Interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints had only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprint tells me. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? I haven't even been in the room. No! Okay, and let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. Couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Too big? Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. Oh well, if my feet are bigger than these footprints, then there's a chance that the person's footprint is probably a female's. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. Oh well, this bottle came from the C shelf. That's all I can tell for now. How on earth did they manage to get the bottle to fall over from shelf C and spill out, and then only leave footprints near shelf A? Let's see, what's on the shelf? There's no C4. There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with letter A and a number. Don't you see the chemical C9? So I guess I could consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait! Yeah, finally, don't you see the C9? Yes, there's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? That says C4. So on this shelf is... looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such an ignorance for so long? It must really be bliss, or truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What do you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. It didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. Now C, on the other hand, on this shelf is... more of the C9 bottles. One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All those containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Or split into 3 sections. Section A, I don't know why my model keeps freezing. Section A has dietary supplements. Section B has reagents. And Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with a label from Section C. So who moved that bottle over there? What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. There's a lot of things that we're seeing here. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Okay, because I want to see everything that we looked at again. Man, this week flew by quickly. I still remember Koga watching Little Women on Tuesday. This was the Monokuma bottle. That was the figure from the bottle. These are all the Monokuma bottles. Yeah, that said C4 on it. Alright, rec room. Where is it? That's the office. It's the headmaster's room. Wait, no, the rec room is not on this floor. It's on the 3rd floor.
Ne.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hito had told me.
なるほどね。
I see. So, along with Byakuya, they've been claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Yeah, Hito seemed the most suspicious out of all of them. But either he's lying or Hina is lying. Someone's lying?
とにかく
I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. Alright, let's look at the body again. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
ちょっ
Just staring off into space isn't gonna help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
そうね。
That's totally normal. Then how can you?
それは-
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. But what? Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here. Yeah, that is a very interesting statement that she just made there. But yes, that looks like there's vomit on her floor, on her foot. And that's either vomit or that's the C4 powder. Actually. Her shoes? You see that yellow powder? Yup, that's the C4 powder. So that means she was the one in the chem lab. And yeah, it really stands
なる
out.
ほどね。
That powder is clue number 1.
ね。
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
そうね。
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
どうやら
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Yeah.
Everybody's getting cracked in the head. Chihiro was struck in the head with a dumbbell. Hifumi and Taka were hit over the head with hammers.
So,
And both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
そうね。
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Oops. Alright, next. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new. Your pawn, rook, the knight has been destroyed. A bishop, and a queen, I believe. Either the... No, that's the king. The queen is missing. So that means there's a bottle that's missing. That's what I'm guessing the next clue is.
ね。
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you'll sure to find it. A hidden correlation? They all have the figures inside of them, obviously. Monokuma's positioning is different in each of the bottles. I don't know what's going on with my model, man. The Monokuma figure's positioning is different in all the bottles. But it could be just because of the way it was put down. Can you just tell me what it is?
それが
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you to a degree, otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree.
ね
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An
え
experiment?
とにかく
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. You sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
別にいいじゃない
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byaki is not here, so...
じゃあ
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. Hey, you need to get something from the chem lab? No, what do you need to get from the chem lab? No, what does she have to get from the chem lab? With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but... What choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. Hina is still in the room with us, right? And just as I finished up... I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
じゃあ
Is everything ready? Let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing? There's some water. I got a scale from the chem lab. We're gonna use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Well, why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
ね
First, let's compare the weight of the normal Monokuma bottles. Let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
つまり
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same and nothing else could really affect the weight.
じゃあ
Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces they collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
じゃあ
Let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How's that possible?
やっぱり
Just as I thought. What?
つまり
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together.
ね
And I believe you'll arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. I'm trying to think about it. Like, I'm seriously trying to think about it. Oh, why would this bottle be heavier when broken than the rest of the intact bottles? There was a broken C4 bottle in the chem lab. That is still sitting there. But there was a C9 bottle also put in the A section. But I'm really trying to think about what it could mean, but I just don't know. Like, why on earth would that bottle be bigger? What do you think? It's all on you. They didn't put the C4 in that Monokuma bottle. But there was the bottle that had the Monokuma figure inside of it, actually one of those chemical bottles. If that's the case, why would somebody swap the bottles? I guess because they knew that the chemical bottle would be heavier. If she got hit in the head twice, was she hit in the head with both of those broken bottles we saw? No, they're not gonna give us the answers. Like, I just really hope that one of my theories is right. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue, clue, clue. This magazine's upside down. I can't tell if that says Kakuto or something ladies. Miss Muscle. It'll say it. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Ne.
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is it. But Toko's name is written in blood in here. On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bloody letters, and it said Toko. But that is not enough to incriminate her. Could this be a dying message?
So,
It would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this?
それは
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying
だ
message.
けど
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking.
ね
Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
え、なんなの
Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. It is too easy. Like, that's why I said that's not enough to incriminate her. She's most likely not the killer. It just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious.
寝てた。お前らの操作が退屈すぎて寝ちゃってたよ。やっちゃうよ。いいっすか？やっちゃってもいいっすか？じゃあ、学級裁判を始めます。お前らはいつもの場所に至急集合してください。学校エリア1階にある赤い扉にお入りください。うぷぷ。じゃあ、後でね。
Alright. It's already time? But the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No. Not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. And Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist. A locked room murder mystery.
Nani?
What the... Oh, I just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, you toss in a smiley face, it turns to positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. This is just plain creepy. And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad. Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it. I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone? I don't think I'm acting casual. I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? Well, whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. It's most certain it's either one of us or whoever knocked me out is the one who did it. But I really don't know how that would... That's like a least likely option. Oh, right now, the people that are at the top of my list are Hiro and Hina. Even though Toko's name was written in blood in that book, this is not the Leon case. That's not enough to incriminate her right now. Kyoko is still up there as its potential suspect because of all the moving around and getting me to do stuff. But I suspect her the least. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us. Alright, and then, as I've said, whenever the class trial is about to begin, that's the end of the stream. I know it's only been a couple hours, but I'm not gonna start the class trial in this stream because I want to be able to remember everything. I'm gonna look over the report card one more time. Anyway, I'm gonna look over the truth bullets one more time and set the skills when I come back. I'm gonna watch this stream before I begin streaming again. I got 9 days. Now 9 days and it'll be a Sunday when I return to this stream. in terms of this game. So that's ample time to do the class trial plus more. So I will see you all then. The 28th is when I will be back to finish this game. Or, well, to complete the class trial. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.